What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie, here in Long Island, and we are going to be doing some toy hunting here because you guys love it. And of course, everybody's getting that Supreme CM Punk figure and, you know, the Legends Greatest Hits. Plus, we're not in my area, so I do want to check out a couple local places. But if you're not a best one yet already and you're into wrestling figures, Funko Pops, Nickelodeon, late 90s, early 2000s, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because the grind is real. And we're going to check out this Walmart in Long Island, baby. Let's get it. Alright, here we are, guys, at the Long Island Walmart. There's not really much, but definitely different things than at home. We got the typical Eddie Kingston figures. We've seen those before. Also, looks like they got a bunch of Chris Jerichos as well. Already got those. But they actually do have an Ultimate Edition I have not seen in the wild here. Randy Orton. Too bad it is the Arcade Bro, but it is kind of tempting. Not even gonna lie there. And we also got Elite 104s in stock. AJ Styles, that's cool. Dakota Kai, haven't seen her in a while yet. Very toyetic. And Ruby Soho, I'm gonna be meeting her tomorrow at the convention. Does look like a really good condition box. Could always get an extra signature. And it's unfortunate, I wish they had the Ruthless Aggression Ultimates in here, but they don't. But seeing Randy, that is a little refreshing because my place, we never see them. Alrighty, guys, time to check out this Target. Look at this, guys. We got the collector spot here. And look at that, my dad already found something wrestling. I skip out on those. I don't have the real estate. But guys, look at this. They got a lot of different things I don't see at my Target. A lot bigger section. And, ooh. I got a Reptar and Cynthia. That's kind of cool. I've been seeing that, just haven't pulled the trigger. Let's see. Ooh, hold up. The SpongeBob plush, that's cool. That's good quality too, guys. Look at that Plankton. I wish it was just him by himself, but that is cool to see because you don't normally see that at our Targets. Look at that Charlie in the box. I just got that recently at a store. But now, guys, we are going to go check out the wrestling figure section. Alrighty, guys, we're over here at this section here, and look at all of these rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walmart, you gotta step up your game. Figures. And, of course, there's Trent and Chuck, the best friends. Not bad though, look at all these rocks though. That's awesome. And we also got a DDP, but we already do have that. We picked up this Ultimate Rock. They had 7 of them, but there was a deal where if you buy one toy or book, you get 25% off. Plus I had some rewards, so I only paid $15 for this figure. On to the next store. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna check out this Five Below, see what we got for Nickelodeon stuff. And look at that, we found something, guys. We got this really cool SpongeBob fingerboard 3-pack. I think we're definitely gonna pick this up. And it looks like they have the same figures as last time that I got, which are pretty cool. Love that Five Below is doing this, guys. I really do. And guys, I'm also gonna pick this up for the fiance. She loves her Squishmallows.
15 minutes later.
What is up, guys? No more retail stores. All right, I'm tired of getting my hopes, you know, up. So now we're going to blast from the past, and we're gonna see what they got for wrestling figures and, you know, things I collect, things I like. I saw some pictures. Looks like a really cool, big, unique store, and we're gonna see what they got. And I hope you guys enjoy. Looks like, guys, they got a bunch of old classic VCRs and DVDs, which is cool. I do remember a lot of this stuff here. But everything's all streaming now, which is nuts. So one thing, guys, I'm noticing that's really cool are these ECW San Francisco toy line. I did have a few of them back in the day. Just got Chris Candido at that M&J store. That Devon looks really cool. Shane Douglas, the franchise. Very cool. Look at all these old school nuts. The old Hasbros. And look at that, even to Jerry, that's kind of cool. That's tempting, honestly. Let me see. Wow. And another figure that I'm really noticing too is that Chase Thunder Rosa right there. It is loose, but I do think I might get that maybe. Well, guys, behind me, there's a bunch of loose figures in the packages, and we're gonna just start going through them, so let's see what we can find. So guys, I'm going through all this stuff right here, and I found a Jakks Pacific figure that I never had before. He was a part of the SmackDown brand. He was a part of a 2-pack with the Rene Dupree, Kazuki, and yeah, we're definitely getting this because I do try to go after the Jakks that I never had as a kid. Wow, that is a underrated find. So guys, I remember this right here. I got that for Christmas when I was younger. Such a cool piece, really cool piece. What is up, best ones? We're back from the stores in, Long Island, and I gotta say, I think I found some really awesome figures, especially at Blast from the Past. Such an amazing store, and unfortunately last time when I was out here for Create a Pro Madhouse, which was, about a couple weeks, it was about like a month ago, I forgot my wallet, so I couldn't, go to Blast from the Past. It was very close to my area, so this time around, I wanted to make the effort to, go out there and give you guys an awesome toy hunt since, I'm out here for the big event in New York. Going to be meeting Mommy tomorrow. But I do want to show you guys what I ended up getting. And, oh man, we got a lot of Lucy's. And before we get into the Lucy's, I do want to show off, a couple things that I did get. First and foremost, we got the Target Ultimate Edition Rock, which they have like 7 of these, and in my area, I can never find these at all. I ended up getting it, obviously, the first day it came out. I was lucky enough to get it, but you can't go wrong paying $16 for an Ultimate Edition figure, especially a Target exclusive WWE Legends. So I am very happy about that. And we're probably going to keep it in the collection mint on card for a little bit until I decide if I want to keep it or, end up passing on it. We'll see, because I do have one loose already. But I also ended up getting a Ruby Soho at Walmart, which is in my car right now because I am going to be getting that signed on top of my other Ruby Soho that I have in my collection. I might as well. I saw it, and I never actually see her on the shelves, so it's kind of cool to, see a Ruby Soho figure. And also, we went to Five Below, because you guys all know I love Nickelodeon, late 90s, early 2000s. I always say it in the intro, and I found this really cool fingerboard. It reminds me of, the Tech Decks when I was younger, and it's a SpongeBob one, which I thought was really freaking cool to put on the shelf. And, I'm always at the desk editing, so when I get bored, I can just, do some flips with my fingers on the skateboard. But now, let's show you guys stuff I got from Blast from the Past. And all this stuff literally came in plastics. I had to take them all out because the video would have been so much longer if I just, took them all out one by one. But such a great store. They gave us great deals, and I definitely highly recommend you guys to go check the Blast from the Past out if you're in the Long Island, New York area. I know when I come back here for, Create a Pro, or if I come back here for another convention, I'm definitely going to be going back to this store. Such a great environment, and it really was a blast from the past. Really saw a lot of things that were very nostalgia to me, and these figures I'm about to show you are very nostalgia. So here we go, man. And we're going to start off with the one figure I was not expecting to buy at all today, and that is the Chase Thunder Rosa, which she's not in the package, but that's alright. I already have, all my AEWs, displayed, so I am going to put her, on, one of the display stands, because this figure is just incredible, and I actually got this for an insane deal. I could not believe the deal that I got for this figure, and I'm very excited to add this to, my collection, even though it's a loose. I usually collect my AEWs, mint on card, but I couldn't say no to a Chase. You never find Chases in the wild. And the next, San Francisco toy maker figure we got here, this one I never had in my collection, and that is Jarrett. He, did a lot of really cool work, in ECW, during this time, and never even knew they made this figure. And when I saw this was like one of the first figures on, the shelf that really caught my eye, and definitely I never saw this, so I had to, pull it. So the next ECW San Francisco toy maker figure I got was the franchise Shane Douglas. Back in the day with my Fig Fed, I used him as a custom. And just, through time, being a wrestling maniac, I, fell in love, more with ECW. And, Shane Douglas's work. So having this figure, especially in this condition, I'm very happy to, get this in there. So the next figure we got here, we have Justin Credible, which, this is around the time, he was doing his best work in ECW, and such a cool figure here. And I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I do respect his work, man, around this time. So, got the nice little San Francisco here. And the last one that was a part of, the ECW figures I, got today, we got the Suplex Machine Taz, which I'm very excited about this figure here. I believe this is his first ever figure, ever made of him. And I'm actually going to be meeting, Hook tomorrow, getting, my figure signed from, him, which I'm excited. But really cool to have this Taz figure. And now I'm going to show you guys the Jack Pacific figures I ended up getting at this incredible store. And the first one I do want to show off, I do have, one in the package with, his manager, Davari. We got a Lucy Muhammad Hassan, and he was one of my favorite villains in the Ruthless Aggression era. That is, where I grew up. That is, one of my favorite eras of all time in wrestling, and such an underrated guy right here. Should have been the world champion if you ask me, but such a great figure, and his only figure, unfortunately. The next, Jack Pacific figure we have here, we have one of the old school ones from back in the day. We got the one Billy Gunn, and I don't know why, this was always my favorite Billy Gunn figure. For some reason, I really enjoyed, his mid-card run with the Intercontinental Championship around this time, and I don't know, like, as a kid, because this is when I got into the wrestling figures and stuff, I used to really enjoy these type of figures a lot. They were very fun to, play around with, and, bringing this, because obviously this is all nostalgia, so had to get this Billy Gunn. And our next, Jack Pacific figure we got here, we got good old Simon Dean, which all the characters back in the day with the Ruthless Aggressions are so cool. And I think, that's the only ones I'm really going to collect, moving forward with Ruthless Aggression. I don't really need John Cena's, Randy Orton's. I don't really need them because Mattel is already, producing better ones. But I want to get a lot of the odd characters, like the Simon Deans, the Eugenes, and, some of my favorite underrated guys that we know aren't going to get Mattel figures. And Simon Dean, I just love the character. Absolutely hilarious. And the last, Jack Pacific figure I have here, which, man, this one, I don't know why. I've had, out of all the Jack Pacific figures that came out through, its time, I probably had at least 80% of them. And this figure here I never had in my collection. And now, you know, getting back into collecting, I needed to add this to my collection. And we got Rene Dupree's tag partner, Kenzo, which, man, I can't believe I've never seen this figure ever. Can't believe I never got this figure as a kid, but so cool to have this, you know, now, which is almost freaking 20 years later, which is absolutely nuts here. And I love the details of, you know, the trunks we have here. And just such a great figure. So happy to finally add this to the collection. And he is one of the odd, you know, guys in the Ruthless Aggression. So it does, you know, make perfect sense. And now I am going to show you, you know, the one Mattel figure I did find at the store. And I got Darren Young, part of the Nexus. And all the Nexus members, I believe, are all basics. So my goal is to get each original member of the Nexus that do have the band on the arm. And, you know, have them all together. I believe I think I have right now 3. So I do still have, you know, a little bit long ways to go. But finding this was actually really cool, especially in the condition that I found it. And now, oh man. Ooh, I almost forgot. And we do have one TNA Marvel figure that we did find while we were out here. And that is good old King of the Mountain, Jarrett in the red gear. This is the one that, you know, I really wanted. He was my world champion, you know, in my Fig Fed SEW. And honestly, like, having this figure now is really cool. And you guys will, you know, you guys are going to see what I'm going to do to the studio. I have this really cool idea with the old school TNA stuff. You're just going to have to wait and see. But we got Jarrett, and this is such a great figure. I love the Marvel TNA figures back in the day. So cool to find at Toys R Us. But now, let's get into all the bone-crunching figures I got. And you guys know I've been slowly rebuilding, you know, my collection on here, documenting it for you guys, the best ones. And I've been getting myself back into the bone-crunching figures, and I think I have a really cool collection here going on. And it's all reasonably priced, which is even better for, you know, the wallet as a collector. So here we go. The first one we got, speaking of Jarrett, we got Double J. Which, oh man, I remember having this figure as a kid, and I always loved Double J's character. So to have this, you know, bone-crunching figure, very, very cool. Rubber guy. And the next figure we got here, we have Al Snow, one of my favorite underrated, you know, guys. Not the best condition, but for now, you know, it'll do. It'll be in the back of the shelf probably, but until we get a better Al Snow. But honestly, really cool figure here. The next one we have Hardcore Holly. You know me, I love the Hardcore Championship. I have a replica title, and my goal is to get, you know, people that, you know, won the championship to sign it, and to have, you know, Hardcore Holly's bone crunching figure is pretty cool. And the next figures we have here, we have the Godwins, which so friggin' cool that these guys, you know, got bone crunchers, and this is a figure like we're not gonna get with Mattel, so it feels cool to actually get these, you know, in bone crunching form. I think that, you know, they had a lot of, you know, odd tag teams, you know, during that time, and a lot of people want to talk about the big names like the Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Triple H's. But what I grew up on, I love the underrated guys, and the Godwins, they were so cool. And our next figure we have here, we got the bone-crunching Big Boss Man. Pretty cool figure here. We actually do have this in Mattel form, but to have, you know, this is pretty sick. Here we have another bone-crunching. We have the Godfather, which is such a cool figure. Like, the thing I liked about the bone crunchers were they're all so different and they're so unique. Like, Big Boss Man looks so much different than the Godfather. And just, I don't know, I just really enjoyed these as a kid. And to have these now is really cool to say. And our next figure we have here, one of my favorite guys in the Attitude Era, we got Ken Shamrock. And it's not the best conditioned one, but for now it'll do until I get, a better one. But just such a great, these are such good figures, honestly. And one of the cool bone crunching figures I ended up getting as well was this cameraman. And the reason why I wanted to get this was because I did have this in my original collection. And it's really cool because it's got like the thing that they used to have to wear back in the day because of the, VCRs. And I do want to add this to, my new arena, which if you guys haven't checked that video out, recommend you guys to. I think that this will just be a great addition to that. And I want Mattel to do stuff like this. Like Jakks, they always went outside the box. Why can't we do that with Mattel? And the next figure we have here, which I didn't have this in my original collection, we have the monster Kgen. And he was one of those underrated guys in the Attitude Era. And honestly, it's really cool to have this because I already do have the Jackal Don Callis. So to have Kgen now, I think that's really cool to, complete that. And the last bone crunching figure that I also never had in my collection, but I did have her rival, Sable. We got Luna, which never knew they made this figure, and it's so cool that, there's, actual hair there, and they made her look as scary as possible. Such a great figure here. And the last thing I do want to show you guys that I ended up getting, for anybody that's into basketball, I'm a huge, Brooklyn Nets fan. Brooklyn, we go hard. I got this really cool figure here that I did find last minute, and that is Darren Williams, one of, our old point guards on, the Brooklyn Nets when we transitioned from New Jersey to Brooklyn. And he was one of my favorite players, back in the day. So to have this now in, a figure form is pretty cool. I just want to find a Jason Kidd just like this. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this, toy hunt video. I really had a great time at Blast from the Past. Thank you guys for, welcoming me in there with open arms. And if you're in this area, highly recommend you guys to go to this store. Such a great selection of anything nostalgia. I found so much stuff that I couldn't purchase because obviously I'm going to meet a bunch of wrestlers tomorrow, so I do need more money for that. But guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a best one yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notification. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow me over on my social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. And of course, all the best ones out there worldwide. We are taking over. Peace.